What's up, world? It's the Javelin Breakdown. Hitting a quick lunch workout. Today we're going to do some ball throwing, superset with pullovers, a little bit of bench press, and then a few accessory exercises and prehab to close it out. So let's get started. So I got my grips because the bar is cold, and yeah, doing my dead hangs is very difficult to do when the bar is freezing. It's about 15 degrees outside, so it's cold in the garage. It's a little warmer in the garage, I should say, than outside. But those dead hangs really help open things up for me. So I'm hitting the band, use the band, and then obviously the pass through, kind of the king warm-up exercise for javelin throwers. It's important as javelin throwers that we have a very good warm-up, open things up. It's so unproductive to try to train and execute at a high level technically and get into good positions if you aren't loose enough to get into them even just standing still, right? So especially for someone like me that mobility is a big challenge, I want to take my time in the warm-up so that I can get into the best possible positions. That way my practice is worthwhile and I can make improvement. Now for me to do my pullovers, it's a little bit of work to set up. Got to bring the bench over. It's like a giant game of Tetris. Forward. Ooh, wow, first time. Got the setup right. This is good. I'm able to get a nice range of motion. So with pullovers, it's really important that you take your time and you kind of work through variations. So I would really recommend that most people start with using a dumbbell and laying on a low bench and working through a range of motion before you try a barbell and before you try on an elevated bench for a much bigger range of motion, because this is a challenging exercise, and so taking your time is really important. We want to be safe, we want to progress so that we don't get hurt. Trying to prepare to throw the javelin, which is already a dangerous and potentially injurious activity. Speed on that was good. Speed on that was good. All right, so did a set of there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bounce between doing pullovers and throwing into the net. So we'll go ahead and point the camera right here like this. I don't see my 2 kilo ball, so I'll use my 1/6 homemade ball. So all I'm looking to do is nice and easy, working big stretch, breathe out, all the things javelin feeling wise. All right, so now that we've done those, we're gonna jump back over, hit another set of pullovers. All right, so I already did 2 hands. Now I'm gonna do 1 hand. I'm gonna do the figure 8 throw, which is this week's drill of the week. So figure 8 throw, really working to create momentum and allow that momentum to carry us into the throw. Have a loose, reactive throw, which is what we want with the javelin. So make my figure 8. Really try to feel the stretch all the way up the body. You see me kind of bringing my arm up, trying to hold my left side so that I have that stretch, because if I have an anchored left side, that's going to help my right side have tension, right? If I'm just sitting slacked, then I'm going to dump forward. So tall left shoulder holds so that we have the stretch, and then from there I can come under, stretch up the chain. Good speed by doing both sides. We don't want imbalances to be an issue. And we're gonna have imbalances, but we wanna minimize them. So before we get into our stance throw, I'm actually gonna do a quick stretch. So let's take a look right here. I'm actually gonna use the barbell to roll under the throw and really pull me into a big hip-shoulder separation, which is ideal for javelin. So I'll demo this way so you can see it before I do it. So I'm gonna set up like this with my left hand is holding the bar, and my goal is to turn my foot, drop my knee so that my hip gets ahead of my shoulder, and I'm gonna have this big stretch up the chain, and I wanna try to maximize that feeling in my ball throw. So I'm gonna get into this position on the other side so that I can feel good and know, okay, that's the feeling we're going for in this next drill. All right, that's what we're going for. So what we'll do is bring the camera over here. So it's a little difficult with how my garage is set up, so you're not gonna see the best view, but we're gonna be getting into this position here. I'm establishing that body line of the block, and my goal is to turn my foot and drop my knee to create that hip-shoulder separation we just talked about. So I'm gonna hold this position, and then work off the tension to deliver the ball. By the way, I don't know if I said, this is a 1 kilo ball. Homemade. It's a dog tennis ball filled with sand and rocks. This is pretty challenging given my mobility restrictions, as I said. And then, the adductor that I tore runs up and connects here. So the stress when you actually are in a good position is reasonably high. So for someone coming back from injury, I can feel weakness in this region when I do this drill. Not pain, but weakness. So it's difficult, and I'm trying to coach my brain, coach my mind through this, and help my body say, hey, it's okay. You don't need to put that pain signal up. It's okay, I can get into this position. So, that's why I'm not taking full approaches, slamming into positions I'm not ready for. So I gotta baby my body, but dose it with stress so that it can get used to getting into big positions again. All right, very good. We'll come back to that after another set. Like I talked about, it's very important that you take your time in working up to handling them, but man, they are so worth it because you need to teach your body how to apply force in these very elongated positions. And there's a bunch of other exercises that work great, but this is tried and true and it's been done for a long time, so we know it works. But again, just a reminder to really be careful. Don't just go straight to copying what the videos of Johannes Vetter or Jan Zalesny or Taro or Andres, right? You don't need to get a belt and tie your feet down and load up, 100 kilos. Don't do that. Start with the dumbbell and then a bar, an empty bar, curl bar. Take your time. But let's throw more 1 kilo. Let's throw more 1 kilo ball. Same thing. We're looking to really keep that right hand as far away from the left foot as possible. Elongate the pull, all while getting this hip ahead so that this hip creates stretch. And the way I get my hip ahead is by taking my foot and knee down. And so when I do that, that takes my hip this way, all while keeping the upper body delayed to maximize the stretch. Here we go. Let's get 5 good ones. Whew. I can really feel that. Whew. My adductors pretty challenged by that. So yeah, 5 reps in a set, that's not a lot, but for where I'm at, I know that it's better to do only a couple good ones until I get my full strength back. Get a couple with this left side. Now, I like to try to hit a heavier push every week, but because we just did pullovers and we threw, I'm actually just gonna do some speed bench with the bands. So we're looking still for, you'd think I've had the squat rack for a while. You'd think I know which pinholes I have for what, for bench, but every week still messing with it, trying to get things squared away. All right, where are we? We're way off center. Oh, that's much better. All right, let's make sure we're grooving our bar path. We're gonna be working with my normal grip, which is probably narrower. Than most people, so coming to the very, I have just a standard Olympic bar from Rogue, so the knurling begins here, and I'm coming about an inch off of that. So for me, definitely a more tricep dominant pusher. So that's how we roll. That's how we roll in the bench press. All right, we got our Elite FTS bands, creating 10 pounds of force, tension, whatever you want to call it, at the top. So it's an extra 20 pounds at the top. And so you have to push through that to make the lift, which is a great challenge. So working weight is going to be 155 of barbell weight. So we'll get a quick set with 135 and then we'll get going. So in between the bench press, we're gonna do some soccer style walking throws with this 3 kilo ball. So working to come into a good position, leverage ground contact to transfer energy up the chain, out into the ball. So this will be a little less stressful than the last drill because my adductors are tired. Although could prove challenging to catch the ball. So it's really important with this drill, like I talked about in drill of the week, that I not push off the back foot, but I drop the knee, creating a good block, creating a good body angle, so that I'm truly meeting the throw well. All right, let's do another set of bench. Let's make it fast. Just checking to make sure I actually put all my plates on. All right. All right, set 1 done. Pretty decent. Normally I move it a little bit faster, but considering everything else we've done today, this is good speed. So let's get 4 more sets of this. So we'll make sure to get the left side on that next set, but you already know, let's bench again. Whew. Started fast, slowed down a bit, but that was a bit better than set 1, I think. So 3 more to go. All right, so we're doing the left side now. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm dropping my left knee, hitting block with my right foot. Whew. All right, back to the bench press. I haven't done these in a while, so let's see where we're at. All right, that's a good weight. Rolling tricep exercise there. There's a bit of a rolling nature to it, and that's really gonna put a lot of blood flow into my elbow, which is great, right? We gotta promote healing, so a little bit of bodybuilding work at the end of a session is always good. I look at it as prehab, and it's fun. All right, so we're doing pull-ups in addition, so pull-ups have not been my friend pretty much ever in life, and it's just because I don't do them consistently enough, but let's see if I can get a good set of 10 in. Whew. All right, that was 10. So that last thing I want to show you guys, prehab, there's this dumbbell flow I found from a physical therapist on YouTube. I really like it. So for me, I'm working with an 8-pound dumbbell, and what I do is I rotate the dumbbell down and away from me, and what I do is I work the dumbbell up towards my head, and I come around my head, and so I have to keep my upper back engaged through that whole movement, and then I slowly lower and basically do half of a curl, and that hits my elbow. I reset, turn the dumbbell away from me, and then I come up and I go around the head the other way. So I go both ways. And this exercise puts you kind of in a constant tension on at least some of the muscles involved in the throw. And because there's around the head both directions and the slow curl, you kind of target a bunch of things in one movement. So I call this the dumbbell rehab flow. For me, I mean, it's very vague, but I just know what it means. So I do this flow, get both sides around the head. So I try to accumulate 15, so 30 reps total, 15 of each way. And it just makes a big difference for me. So maybe for you, could be worth a try. I like it because it combines kind of a couple different things. And so it's not as monotonous and it's a little bit faster. So it's one of the reasons I like it, but it's also just effective. So I've been doing it for probably about 1.5 years now, and I've noticed a big difference, so I like it. So I will do a little bit of this, a little more dumbbell, the tricep, rolling tricep, pull-ups, and this, then call it a day. So pretty short workout, just hitting workout over lunch while I'm working from home today because of the weather. So just trying to make the most of my time. Hopefully you enjoyed watching me train today, and subscribe if you aren't. Really helps support the channel. We're trying to get to YouTube partners so we can keep bringing content to the javelin community. So I appreciate your support. And as always, remember to enjoy the journey.